The 1st of September is affectionately called the 1st of spring in South Africa, with temperatures around the country visibly warmer, except in the Western Cape. ENCA's Head of Weather, Candice McKechnie, joins us in studio to explain why and to weigh in on some other weather-related matters. Candice, thank you very much for coming into our studio for a change.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So, looking at temperatures around the country on the 1st of September, and feel free to correct me, but Joburg, 24 degrees, Durban, 27, Bloemfontein, 27, and Cape Town, 16. Why? Well, let's settle this argument once and for all. Cape Townians say spring only arrives here in October. Some say only in November. When is the official first day of spring in Cape Town, and why?
Well, I think that one of the things that we need to remember here is that Cape Town and, let's just call it the northeastern parts of South Africa, have very different climatic zones. So you have a summer rainfall season in the northeast, and we obviously experience winter rainfall in Cape Town. So because of that, you have very different synoptic situations driving the weather in that area. So in September, as you've seen, the temperatures already start to kick up quite a notch in the northeastern part of South Africa. Highs head well into the upper 20s, even 30 degrees in many places. And of course, then that also starts their summer rainfall season. But with us in Cape Town, we have this sort of like a very gray area between summer and winter. Often we, amongst ourselves, we chat about the fact that, well, maybe Cape Town doesn't have that shoulder season of spring and autumn, and that we have more of a defined summer and winter period with a few months of uncertainty in between. So here in Cape Town, the thing that drives our weather is a cold front. And of course, as we head into summer, those cold fronts don't stop happening. They actually just happen slightly further south than what we are. So because of that, it's a bit of a dance between the high pressure pushing it down and the cold front trying to push up. So it's only once that high pushes it completely south that we stop having the cooler weather. And of course, that's when the southeaster kicks in.
Okay.
And then that's summer.
Whenever that might be.
Yeah.
So another famous wine is people saying, oh, this winter is definitely colder than the last. So just your observations this year, what was the 2016 winter like, and also just looking at snowfall, the amount of snowfall around the country?
Well, I think one of the challenging things working in this industry is that data is quite difficult to come by. So it's quite difficult to get that historical data and observational data on a daily basis. The other thing is that I think people often forget what the last winter was like. You know, it's human nature. You know, we complain about the too many sunny days when we want rain, and you know, we complain about the cold, and then when the heat comes in, we complain about the heat. So I think it's sometimes a perception thing about, oh, this winter must have been colder than the last, because we tend to forget what it felt like last year. But of course, on a global average, we're seeing temperatures warming across the globe. So as a year, we'll probably see that 2015 was our warmest year on record, and it looks like 2016 is going the same route.
Really? Well, on that note, we are apparently moving out of this El Nino weather pattern into a La Nina. What exactly does that mean for then the spring and summer temperatures specifically, and I guess, well, more importantly, for South Africans and farmers, rainfall?
Well, the thing, this is another dance, right? So this is the El Nino to the La Nina. It's another sway of temperatures and obviously conditions. And we've experienced quite a strong El Nino over the last year or so. And that came after a few dry years as well. So we've had this incessant drought and very severe drought across South Africa that has then been made worse because of the El Nino conditions. At the moment, the oscillation sits in a neutral phase. So temperatures in the Pacific are what they should be at the moment. And if a La Nina occurs, we'll start to see a cooling of those temperatures. And that shifts rainfall bands across the continent. And what it will do, if there is a strong La Nina, is that we'll see the eastern part of South Africa, so those summer rainfall regions yet again, will experience or could experience wetter conditions. And then because they're experiencing more rainfall and more cloud cover, we generally see cooler temperatures with that. So at the moment, apparently because these long-term seasonal forecasts is not something that we do at the NCA Weather Department,
sure.
but the climate models are predicting that we will either go into a neutral phase or that we will go into a weak La Nina, which means that we'll either see the same rainfall that we should during a season or even maybe slightly above that. But that's still not going to be enough to break our drought conditions because it's not just something from one season, it's something that's built up over a long period of time.